This is the eighth part of the interpretation of the psychology of money. Long-termists and short-termists, let's continue. Let me start with an insight. Look at the comparisons between these pairs of people. Loyalists versus traitors, gentlemen versus scoundrels, earnest mentors versus drinking buddies. In my view, these are all long-termists versus short-termists. It's not about who is good or bad in an absolute sense, the difference lies in their focus on the long term or the short term. For instance, imagine you have a job that is very demanding but pays well. Your parents advise you to take care of your health and not overwork, suggesting you should earn money slowly. On the other hand, your boss tells you to make the most of your youth, seize the current opportunity to earn more money, as it may not come around again in a few years. Who is right and who is wrong? Both voices make sense, it's just a matter of one being long-term oriented and the other short-term oriented. Your parents, having only you as their child, are concerned about your lifelong happiness. Your boss, who can always hire the youngest and most capable, is focused on utilizing your current abilities. Take another example of a company with a good reputation in the market and booming business. Now, there's a batch of products with subtle defects that are not easily noticeable. Should they be shipped? One person suggests being cautious to protect the brand, recommending destroying the batch even if it incurs a loss. Another person argues that the flaws are minor, most people won't notice, and the damage to the brand is minimal, why not make money while they can? Both perspectives are valid, just one is long-term, and the other is short-term. Imagine you are a ruler during the Warring States period, and your country is conquering territories, achieving victories. One minister suggests slowing down because the organization is progressing too fast, systems are not yet perfected, and the newly acquired territories need time to be assimilated. Another minister insists on continuing the conquest, seizing resources to ensure ongoing development. This, too, is a distinction between long-termists and short-term actions. Everyone talks about being a long-termist. If long-term is so good, why do so many people engage in short-term actions? Morgan Housel provides an explanation for financial bubbles, which I believe applies not only to the stock market but also to other domains. The process of a bubble can be roughly divided into 4 steps. Pay close attention to the different logical actions of long-termists and short-termists. The first step is genuine achievements. A company's products are solid, or it has just made a breakthrough in technology, gaining optimism from people. For a period, the stock price keeps rising. Long-termists often value investors in the stock market, believe the current stock price is deserved. However, even the best company has limited value. Long-termists, based on their safety margin, would refrain from buying more at a certain point. Yet, if the stock price continues to rise, why is that? Because it's no longer the long-termists driving the price, but the short-termists. Momentum sustains the rise, and the initial enthusiasm doesn't immediately disappear, there's at least a short-term trend. Short-termists don't care if the stock price is reasonable, they just want to ride the wave. If you only engage in day trading, buying in the morning and selling in the afternoon, the upward momentum is enough for you. It's like winning a battle, people will come to praise you, saying, "Great leader, you're amazing. We should definitely have another battle." These people don't care about your sustainable development, they only want the benefits from the next victory, even if it's the last one. The second step is changing the circle of friends. The entry of short-termists creates a positive feedback loop. The stock becomes even hotter, and the upward momentum strengthens, attracting more short-termists. I don't like using terms like traitors and scoundrels, they carry too much emotional weight. But in this model, these words fit exceptionally well. Using the ruler analogy, around you are mostly traitors and scoundrels. Everyone's emotions are high, and you feel your power growing every day. Some enemies even surrender before you get a chance to fight them. At this point, the stock price is dominated by short-termists. You can't hear the voices of long-termists anymore. Everyone says you can point and strike wherever you want, and indeed, you are becoming more powerful. Everyone awaits your next piece of good news, which inevitably brings more good news. In the stock market, when a stock is dominated by short-termists, you'll notice a significant increase in trading volume. Whether they understand or not, every speculator wants to shake hands with you now. As a ruler, looking at the people around you, you may feel that they don't genuinely love you. It seems like they are using you. Your inner turmoil grows. The third step is misleading long-termists. Let's assume you are a value investor focusing on big data. You have a great outlook for a big data company. The stock price of this company has tripled within a year, far exceeding your valuation. Initially, you think it's too crazy, too hot to handle, and you plan to stay away. But it keeps going up. You can't comprehend this phenomenon, so you start questioning yourself. You might think, did I calculate it wrong? Is my understanding of big data not deep enough? Do other investors know something I don't? You genuinely believe in the big data business, and if you want to invest in a big data company, this one seems the strongest. Now that everyone is so bullish on it, you follow suit. It's like the ruler discovering that even those gentlemen who criticized and questioned him before are now praising him. They say, I used to advise against battles, thinking there would be problems, but now everything seems fine. Our country is indeed invincible, so I won't hinder any more. I also support continuing the conquest. At this point, even the ruler himself believes he underestimated himself before. Now, let's just get things done. So, the bubble reaches its peak. What long-termists truly don't know is that short-termists are playing a different game. The fourth step is the inevitable bursting of the bubble. If a company can consistently bring good news, the bubble might last longer, but issues will eventually arise. Once the bubble starts to burst, it will collapse in an extremely short time. A common trend in stock prices is that declines happen faster than increases. For a good company, brand, or story to grow and be widely accepted, it takes time. But to tarnish its image, it can happen in an instant. Qing dynasty, for example, took 6 generations to unify the country, but only 14 years after unification, it fell. Short-termists act quickly. They lack patience and are highly sensitive. Long-termists have confidence, they encourage you in the face of setbacks, try to help you overcome difficulties, and are willing to wait. In contrast, short-termists are all about quick trades. As soon as you show a hint of a problem, they immediately abandon ship. They don't even need you to have a significant issue. As long as short-termists think you've lost momentum, they'll leave automatically. They are eager to find the next stock with momentum. The key to Housel's model is that we shouldn't only look at the trend of stock prices, but also understand who is operating that stock. High prices led by short-termists are not sustainable. However, what short-termists do is not irrational. Fast in and out when there's momentum is a reasonable operation. In fact, scoundrels are more rational than gentlemen. Gentlemen still have idealism, while scoundrels know exactly what they want. The bubble may indeed burst at any time, but as long as short-termists react quickly, ensure they can disembark in time, they can fully benefit from the situation. The housing bubble in the United States is similar. The prices in the area are already so high that, considering the locals' income levels, it seems few can support such prices. Why do prices keep rising? Because those taking over houses at this point are not long-termists wanting to live there, but short-termists. They buy houses to do some renovations, upgrade them, and then sell them off. As long as the upward trend continues, they will keep buying and selling. So, when making decisions, you must first understand whether you are a long-termist or a short-termist. If you are a long-termist, consistently talking about value investing, your habit is to buy stocks and hold on to them without moving, but then you suddenly jump into the hottest stock at the time, you're confused. You're playing the wrong game. Short-termists are playing a game of hot potato. They know the drumbeats will stop eventually, but because so many people are playing this game, the probability of anyone holding the potato at the end is small. They are aware that the key to this game is to pass the potato quickly once you have it. But if you don't observe who's playing the game, and instead of quickly passing the potato, you hold on to it, filled with wishful thinking and envisioning the future, aren't you in danger?
If you feel there is value in this, please like, subscribe to this channel, and leave your thoughts or suggestions in the comments section. Let's grow together and read more good books.